Welcome to Parchment Update, an interview series from the Parchment Community Library to bring your community closer to you. I'm Karen Woodworth, Library Ambassador. I'm joined today by Heather Bradshaw. She's the director of Rabbit Angels Rabbit Rescue. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I want to start out by asking you to tell us what is the mission of Rabbit Angels Rabbit Rescue?
At Rabbit Angels Rabbit Rescue, we are dedicated to helping rabbits that are endangered or abandoned. And we take in bunnies that are in need, domestic rabbits only, and we get everybody spayed and neutered. We get everybody vaccinated against the RHDV2 virus, and then we adopt everybody out to in-home placements. And one unique thing about our rescue that's different from other rescues, we follow up with all of our adoptions for up to 2 years after the adoption. So every rabbit that comes in our doors, we commit to that rabbit for the rest of their lives, and we want a relationship with them ongoing beyond the time that they're with us. We want to support the families that adopt them and make sure those rabbits are well cared for, because I personally promise every single rabbit that I take care of that the rest of their life is going to be better than the past of their life.
That is just an amazing, amazing service. How long have you been doing this?
Our first rabbit came into the rescue in October of 2018. So this October will be our 6th year. In that time, I was not the best about record keeping in the beginning of the rescue, but we've adopted out roughly 650 rabbits in that time.
Okay. Well, what should people know about having a rabbit as a pet?
I tell everybody a rabbit's the perfect combination between a cat and a dog. They are not as much work as a dog in the aspect that you don't have to take them out to go to the bathroom. Our rabbits are introduced to litter training, so they'll use a litter box just like a cat does. They can free roam your home just like a cat or a dog, or you can keep them in a pen if that fits your lifestyle better. We don't recommend cages for bunnies. Most of the cages and hutches that are on the market are just simply too small for a rabbit. I tell people the amount of space that you give them is equal to the amount of space you want to give yourself. So if you want to put them in a cage, how much time do you want to spend in your closet or in your bathroom? They need to be able to hop at least 3 full strides in whatever space you put them in. But rabbits are fantastic. They're more social, like a dog. They have very wide personality ranges, just like humans do. But they're less maintenance than a dog. One thing people don't understand is that rabbits are considered an exotic pet. So finding a veterinarian to treat your rabbit can be something more difficult. There are 3 vets in this area that treat vets: Millwood Animal Clinic, Pawpaw Veterinary Clinic in Pawpaw, and Dickman Road Veterinary, DRVC on Columbia. Their Columbia office treats rabbits. So there's only 3 options in this area. So it can be tricky to get into a vet if you need vet services. And a rabbit should be seen by a veterinarian at least once a year. And then that vaccine that I mentioned earlier, the RHDV2 vaccine, that's an annual vaccine that you should make sure your rabbits are getting annually. But we also, if people are interested in adopting or curious if a rabbit would be a good fit for their family, we have open volunteer hours on the weekends at the rescue, so you can come out and interact with the rabbits and get to know some of the rabbits a little bit, and make sure you're not allergic to hay, make sure there's no allergies to the bunnies. And then if you come out and volunteer for a little bit, you know what, these are really cool animals, I think I want to go a step further, we have a foster to adopt program. So you can take a bunny home and foster it temporarily to make sure it's a good fit in your household before you make the full commitment to adopting.
Well, that's great. That really sounds like a wonderful introduction to taking care of a rabbit. Can you kind of walk us through the steps if somebody does do those things and decide that they want to adopt a rabbit?
Yep. So we have a fantastic website. Our website is rabbitangelsrabbitrescue.com. There's an adoption tab on the website there. All of our adoptable bunnies are listed on our website, and they each have an application link on their page. One thing I will say, especially if you're a first-time rabbit owner, rabbits are super social creatures. They thrive on engagement. So if you're somebody who wants a pet, but you know that you're not going to be home a whole lot, then look at maybe getting a bonded pair. Personally, I own 6 rabbits. They're all in bonded pairs. And if I have a long day at work and I have plans with my daughter after school or what have you, I don't have to feel guilty about not being able to run home and pay attention to them because they have each other. And so a bonded pair is a fantastic way to go. We do have lots of bonded pairs. If you're somebody who already owns a rabbit and you're thinking, I wonder if my bunny would like a friend, we do offer speed dating. So if you have a bunny, you can bring your rabbit out to the rescue and you pick 3 or 4 suitors, and it's kind of like the Bachelor for bunnies, and the bunnies get to meet and decide which ones they get along with and which ones they don't. They're just like people. There are some people in life that we don't get along with, and there are other people we meet them and instantly we're like, you're going to be my new friend. We give the rabbits the opportunity to have a say in who they want to live with as well.
It just sounds like you really consider this from the rabbit's perspective a lot. And I just think that's so wonderful.
Sometimes it gets me in trouble because I put myself in the rabbit's head a little bit too much. So
Yeah. And I know sometimes people end up with rabbits and they're really not able to take care of them. If they do have a rabbit they need to surrender, what should they do?
yeah, so we do give priority to animal control cases and stray rabbits. So unfortunately, it happens a lot that people don't know what to do with their rabbit and turn it loose, or some people believe that a rabbit can survive outside just like a cottontail can because the cottontails can survive. Hi, she came over to visit. So um turning your rabbit loose outside to fend for themselves is absolutely not good for your bunny. They do not have the same survival skills as a cottontail, and they're just not built the same. So if people have a bunny that they want to surrender, we do have a waiting list for surrenders, but we also have an alternative program. If your rabbit is already spayed or neutered, we have what we call an owner foster program. So what happens is we enroll the rabbit in our program for adoption. We list them on Pet Finder, Adopt a Pet, and on our website. And the rabbit lives at home with you until we can find it a home or until we have room to intake it into the rescue. If we can do those direct placements from home to home, it's less stressful on the rabbit, so they don't actually have to come into the rescue setting. And it's only one move instead of potentially multiple moves. But in order to be eligible for that program, the rabbit does have to be spayed or neutered first, because all of the bunnies that we adopt out are spayed and neutered.
Okay. And it sounds too like you would also have the resources if someone, owned a rabbit, didn't really have any background in taking care of it, wanted to keep it, but just didn't know if they were doing the right thing.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I am always available for giving advice and offering guidance. And even if they need help getting their rabbit spayed or neutered, the aftercare for a rabbit after surgery can be tricky. They can be very sensitive animals. So we have a post-op team here at the rescue that can help coach people through the post-op care and offer support to people. And educating the community is a huge factor in rescue. There are a lot of times that people will contact us and say, hey, I can't afford to keep my rabbit anymore. Can you help? My first question is this a temporary situation? If we provide you with some hay and some pellets and some food and some resources for a while, are you going to be in a position in the future to keep them? It is always, as long as it's not a neglectful situation or an abusive situation, it's always better to try to offer support to the families and try to keep those rabbits in their homes.
Okay, well, that sounds very hopeful. How can people get involved with your work or support your work?
There are so many ways to get involved. We always need new foster homes. There is a never ending supply of animals that need help. So if you live within 45 minutes of Kalamazoo or Battle Creek, that's our net for foster homes. The rabbits have to be housed indoors. We can provide the pen and the food and the hay. You would provide love, and the rabbits eat about 1 cup to 2 cups of greens every day. So you would provide the greens, because things like lettuce and parsley and fresh herbs, so forth. And then, so foster homes are a big one. We always need volunteers. We have a facility in Kalamazoo that we have open volunteer hours on the weekends. We always need volunteers to come in, and we do welcome kids 10 years old and above. Anybody under the age of 10, you can come volunteer too, but we do ask that the parents come volunteer alongside of their children. This is a fantastic opportunity for scout groups, for National Honor Society, for any of those kids out there that need volunteer hours. We look at it as an opportunity to teach them to respect and care for the animals in addition to get their community service hours in. So it's a win for everybody. And then on our website, there's a help section. We have wish lists on Chewy, Blaine's Farm and Fleet, Amazon. There are links on there for our Patreon where you can do a monthly subscription to support the rescue. If you have a bunny, we are an affiliate for a company called Small Pet Select that sells absolutely the best hay that you can possibly buy. Every order that you place through our affiliate link, we get a commission back from them. We also have lots of opportunities for people. Say if there's somebody who is an elderly person and isn't mobile and can't get out of their home, we, as I said earlier in the interview, we follow up with all of our rabbits after adoption. So we need people to communicate with our adopters and update files. And so there are lots of opportunities from home as well. If you aren't able to come out and physically help, we can find a spot for pretty much anybody who wants to get involved.
Well, that's great. That sounds really exciting. So I'm sure there's a whole lot of other things. What else would you like us to know?
Um, Rabbits are amazing. They are very misunderstood animals in my experience. People often are surprised when they hear us say that we adopt out house rabbits. They're like, "Oh, I thought rabbits were supposed to live outside, or rabbits are supposed to be food." And there are a lot of misconceptions, and there are different facets to the rabbit industry. Rabbits are bred for consumption. They are a meat source. But the rabbits that we have, these guys are all pets and members of the family. And we encourage everybody to take some time and just get to know them, get to know their personality and figure out who they are. These are really fantastic creatures.
Okay, and I know I saw you out at the Kalamazoo Home Expo and you've gone out to other places. Do you have any upcoming shows or things you're going to?
Yeah, we will be at Waddell for their petting zoo in September. And then we're also going to the Vicksburg Harvest Festival in September. And then if you check our website, there's an events section on our website. We try to do at least 1 to 2 meet and greets a month to engage with the community and meet new people.
Okay, and remind us of your website address one more time.
It is rabbitangelsrabbitrescue.com.
All right, well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. It's been wonderful to learn about Rabbit Angels Rabbit Rescue.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.